Right, let's make some pasta. The basic ingredients for pasta are type 00 flour and egg. I add a dash of oil and a pinch of salt for seasoning. Right, so we're going to start by putting our flour onto the bench with a little well in the middle, and then adding our salt and egg mix, followed by a little bit of olive oil. So the next stage is to make the actual dough itself. So we're just going to get stuck in with our fingers and just work it around, working the egg mix around that well, trying not to spill any of the egg mix outside of the well, or the well walls rather. This means this makes our bench stay a little bit cleaner. The egg, it will get stuck to your workbench. You've got to really work it into a dough. So I can see the egg mix starting to get a little bit thicker as I'm adding more and more flour and getting more and more confident with it. And then I'm just going to bring all the flour into the middle and then just start working it, really working that dough. It's really important to scrape up everything off the bench because it is part of the recipe. The bench was clean before we started. Scrape it all, get it all off your fingers. Get all that stuff that's actually stuck to your bench. Just really scrape that up. To get those last bits off your fingers and off your hands, just use a spoon and just scrape it off, because you want to get all that into your dough. So now we're going to start to knead the dough. Having just used the dough to scrape up everything that's on the bench, we're going to continue to do that, making sure we leave as little amount of flour or egg or anything behind on the work surface as possible. It really is important to knead your dough. You want it to be nice and smooth and have an even consistency and texture throughout the whole dough, so when it comes to rolling, you've not got any softer lumps or firmer bits or just chunks of flour in general, because it won't help when you come to actually make your pasta, whatever you're using it for, be it pappardelle or linguine or tortellini, or even if you're hand rolling macaronis. Use the palm of your hand, work the dough away from you, turning it through 90 degrees every stroke. This ensures you do get an even knead throughout your dough, giving it a nice stretch. So now we're just going to start finishing it off, bring it into a dough until it's ready to rest in the fridge. So I'm just going to start working it into a ball, bringing it in just so it's nice and round and looks better than a misshapen lump, basically. So now we're going to start rolling it out. Really simple. Make the first couple of strokes, and then fold it into the middle into thirds, and then we'll just roll it down vertically from there. The reason I brought it into thirds and like that is just so that it's easy to keep a nice straight pasta dough. It's what you do if you're using it in a machine, so why not do it when you're rolling it by hand? Just makes it look neater and more even. Then we cut the dough in half because it's easier to work smaller batches like this, especially for what we're doing. We're doing pappardelle here. We've only got a limited amount of space. I imagine you do as well. Just going to keep rolling it out, making sure it's nice and thin, so you can pretty much see your workbench through it. Or you could hold out to the light and see light coming through it. When it starts to get really thin, it will need a little bit of flour on the bench just to help to stop it sticking, really. Makes your life easier when you're rolling it. Made my life easier for sticking it down, because you'll just tear it as you lift it up off the bench. So now it's time to actually cut the pappardelle as the pasta is nice and thin. So basically, it's going to give a liberal flouring, and then grab your knife and just cut it. I went for centimeters just because that's what I wanted. You can cut it thicker or cut it thinner. If you cut it too thin, then you'll be getting linguine. But hey, it's up to you. Once you've cut it, just unroll it. Give it a little bit of toss with some more flour. I'm just going to let it dry out for like half an hour or so, and then it's ready to blanch. It won't take long to cook, a couple of minutes, just in a pan of simmering water with salt and olive oil, and then once it's done, just chuck it straight into your favourite sauce, or just have it with butter.